You're listening to Parasearch Radio, news, views and reviews from the world of the paranormal from across the UK and beyond. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and the World Wide Web. Parasearch UK Radio. Parasearch Radio, broadcasting to the UK and beyond.
The views and opinions expressed by presenters and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Parasearch Radio or its affiliates and sponsors. Listener discretion is advised. You're listening to Kerry Greenaway and Mark Manley on the Dark Mirror Paranormal Show, only on Parasearch Radio.
Good evening and welcome to the Dark Mirror Paranormal Show. I am one of your hosts, Kerry Greenaway, and I am joined in the studio by Mark Manley. Good evening, Mark.
Hello, good evening and welcome. Thank you for coming to the show, Kerry.
And Carl Hutchinson is with us. Good evening, Carl.
Well, I'm not going to put on a silly voice. Good evening, everybody.
Oh, thank God.
I thought you said you weren't going to put on a silly voice.
Well, apart from my normal silly voice, but that's what I was born with.
Bit like Joe Pasquale, isn't it?
Mm.
Hello.
My Jacobs.
What is going
Your
on?
crackers.
With you
I don't
two?
know. Something to do with his crackers.
God, it started already, everybody. It started already. Well, tonight's topic is we're still in outer space. We are still out there in the cosmos.
Have you been smoking something?
This time we're talking about planet anomalies. We thought we'd go with tonight. Let's see what we can make of this one, guys.
Anomalies.
That's a great word, that, anomalies.
Anomalies.
It's a bit like moist.
Oh, yes, everybody's favourite word. We all know somebody who hates the word
Moist.
And one of my friends that I used to work with in London, she absolutely detests the word moist. And the amount of time I used to just write moist on a piece of paper and leave it on a chair, and you'd hear her shouting across the room, "You effing!" Blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
It's just... Okay, so,
yeah.
Anyway, planet anomalies, everybody. Now we've got over the word anomalies, and then we went into moist. Oh, my God.
Moist with a British accent. There you go.
So I think let's kick off with the one that most people, or I would say everybody, knows and loves, right? How about the face on Mars? Now, Mars is actually quite incredible. When I was looking at this today, it's actually quite incredible. It has, right, this all the things they reckon they found on Mars, right? The face, obviously.
Oh, there's so many things. Yeah,
A floating spoon, right? A rock person. So there's like a rock formation that looks like a person, running person.
That's right.
That's not just any old person. It's a running person. A rat. They reckon.
There's a globe of the Earth.
Oh, I didn't
there's a globe
find
of
that
the Earth.
one. I didn't
Yeah,
find
there's a
that
globe
one.
of the Earth as well.
Lizard.
Yeah.
Lizard.
There's several anomalies that they get captured when they're on the Mars rover, when it was tootling along in its little up and down the old sand dunes, parting away to itself, listening to good driving music. And on the video...
Planet Rock.
Exactly, Planet Rock. Driving along, and there's several anomalies it's caught on video that's basically gone round of funny-looking creatures.
Yeah. Like I say, there was a lizard, a rat, there's been a snake as well, I believe. This is all
Did it get out again?
Gandhi's face has been found on Mars. Good old Gandhi gets everywhere, right?
And a pyramid.
And, well, yes, pyramid, definitely there was a pyramid. In fact, looking very interesting of Mars, isn't it? If all these things
Actually,
are
the
true.
Martian pyramids line up with our pyramids. Bet you didn't know that.
Allegedly.
Mm.
Depending on what
Allegedly.
site you look at.
Exactly. Allegedly.
I have to say, one thing I did notice whilst looking into this a little bit was you've got the conspiracy alien camp.
Oh.
And then you've got the voices of reason.
Have you seen the face hugger?
No.
There's a picture of paint. Have you seen it, Carl?
Yeah.
There's a famous picture of a giant face hugger. It's underneath a cliff, an overhang on Mars, and this giant face hugger of my ex's anatomy, but that's another story. To me, it looks like a crystalline structure. When you look at it properly, it looks like a crystalline structure. But I have no idea how these people look at this stuff and go, "Oh my God, Marjorie, would you look? There's a face hugger from Alien there. Get the sentry guns out." Yes. What?
Well, I have to say, the rat one, I have to say, if they hadn't have circled it, you've got to love a red circle, right?
Yeah. It wouldn't be paranormal on pictures if it didn't have a red circle.
If it weren't for that, I don't think I would have found the rat.
It just reminds me of that post that keeps going around on social media now and again of a picture taken in somebody's bedroom, and there's this red circle next to the bed.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, people are like, "It took me hours. I was looking, I couldn't see it." Then they realised it was actually just a hula hoop next to the bed.
Yeah, I know exactly the one you mean, because that caught me out to start with, to be fair. I was thinking,
what about...
Oh, no, it's a hula hoop.
You know, you were talking about the pyramids on there. Or as Mrs. Zahi Hawass says, Barabat. Have you seen the monolith?
I must admit...
On Mars?
Yeah, and it is actually a fairly convincing picture.
I must admit, a lot of the pictures that you see of things that have been spotted on Mars, whether it's via telescopes or the Mars rover, some of them look really interesting. But then you've got to look at it, they sort of zoom in and they play with it a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's like the whole thing about visual paredolia, where your mind will then look at something and say, "Oh, look, a bunny rabbit
But
in the clouds."
visual pareidolia, does that change depending on your personality? Because if that's the case, then when I look at things, I'd just be seeing willies and boobs everywhere.
Well, that's the same thing about when you go to a psychologist and he shows you ink splodges and it tells you what do you say, and everybody sees different things in ink splodges, whether you're a mass murderer, psychopath, or you wet the bed when you were very, very young. Everybody sees things differently. But looking at some of these photos that they've picked up on Mars, and I think one of the ones that it cracks me up is it's from the Mars rover, and it's looking, and there's some rocks, and then on one of the rocks seems to be this thing sitting on top of the rock.
That's right, yeah.
But when you zoom into it, I'm sorry, but whoever's done it has done it very, very well, because all of a sudden there's this alien-type creature holding a gun, got an oxygen mask.
Oh, God,
on,
yes.
Like, really?
One with the space bike, with like the Return Jedi speeder bike.
Yeah, and because it does look like the original Star Wars, when you have the little dudes running around in their tapes and all that sort of stuff, and the speeders. And then the ones with the funny looking bandaged face with the horn sticking out. It looks like a scene out of that.
Twi'lek.
The thing with it is now NASA itself, to keep interest in the space program effectively, when the Face on Mars in particular came out, when they caught that image, that it's quite iconic, that image now, isn't it? I think everyone knows that
Face
one,
on,
right? When that came out, they did release it with the mindset that it's going to increase people's awareness of what they're doing and keep it in people's minds, make people want to have this space exploration. So they did use it as like a media marketing tool for their project.
Oh, and it worked. It worked well.
To the point where they had to go back to prove that it was just a rock formation. It wasn't actually anything.
They retook the picture from the same angle, the same height, everything, but it's like 20 or 30 years later,
So the
and it's gone.
pixelizations are different and better.
Completely gone.
Exactly, and it shows exactly for what it is. So a lot of these images that are coming out and these anomalies that are being seen are a lot to do with the quality of pictures.
Exactly.
You know how that works with pixelizations and stuff, don't you, Carl?
Yeah, absolutely, because at the end of the day, the cameras that people have used over the years have got better and better and better and better over the years. So a photograph, like you said, that was taken, say, as little as 10 years ago, and look at a photograph nowadays is going to look completely different. And as you said, pixelation is a major thing about it. The way the camera takes the photo, the exposure, digital cameras and everything like that, it all factors in. So the pictures become more and more clearer. So when you look at these pictures and you see what they say, oh, this is an alien sitting on a rock, or this is a caterpillar, or this, that and the other, you just have to, my personal view, you just have to take it with a little pinch of salt. But then there's some of the photos that they get that are looking at like inanimate objects, such as
my ex.
Not that inanimate. But
well, that's explain the hairy thing seen everywhere.
Particularly the one of the pyramid. You clearly see, and it's a good photo. You can clearly see straight lines, straight things, so you can clearly see a pyramid in a photo. And
straight
surrounding it is like different rock formation. But this does look like clean sides of a pyramid on the side of a mountain.
It does, yeah.
But I think people are so desperate for proof.
Yeah.
That there was like life on other planets, because there is a theory that Mars at one point was able to, or I say a theory, scientists are actually pretty sure that it was able to sustain life.
Yeah, well, because they basically found traces of water.
Yes.
So once you've got water,
they found traces on Mars.
Yeah, exactly.
Traces get everywhere.
He drove it up there with the minibus. But no, once you've got where you then find out that there is the atmosphere and the planet potentially in its past could have sustained life, you've then got to look at how Earth then evolved. Obviously, we came out of various different things, and we came out
of my mum, mate,
an evolution. So potentially that planet could have been like Earth many, many, many thousands of years ago, and it's just come to its cycle when it's now a desert planet. They say it could have been something to do with like an asteroid hit that destroyed the atmosphere. All these different things. Potentially, this, as the news said, I think at the start of the week they were saying that there's more chance of the Earth being hit by an asteroid in the near distant future than ever before.
That's a cheery thought, isn't it, everybody?
Yeah, but you think that's one of the way that people look how the dinosaurs were wiped out was via an asteroid that changed the atmosphere and the ecological foundations of the Earth at that particular mine. It changed everything.
There's two things, because, first of all, we're not T-Rexes, so we don't bitch slap each other like that and can't reach the knives and forks to eat food. Well, secondly, we could put on big coats.
Yeah, but Mark, you kind of look like a T-Rex because you've got short arms.
Just remember, I'm coming down not next weekend, the one after, and I don't care. This little hand would bitch slap you, so shut your face. Right. I don't let anybody say things like that. See that sword of Damocles? See this lightsaber here, right above my head? See this? Your bottom. That's what's happening. Right.
Honestly. Anyway, back to topic, everybody.
Have you heard? Do you know what a gigapan picture is?
Enlighten me.
Well, Carl will know what a gigapan picture is.
I'm aware of the term, but I'm kind of trying to rack my brains to work out what it means.
Enlighten us, Mark.
You know those cameras that have come out that gigapixel paranormal. Put my teeth back in. A gigapixel panoramic camera.
Yeah,
yeah. Digital images, and they've got billions of pixels in it. So it's like you can zoom in from like 2 miles away and everything's crystal clear and you can still see it. Well, they've done that with certain bits on Mars with one of the rovers. And some of the Gigapan pictures, if you look it up, Mars Gigapan, some of them are crystal clear and you've got like weird ass trees, again the pyramids, and it's a lot clearer, and you've got lots and lots of different things. The face hugger thing, I'm still like, I had to find somewhere to stick my ex-in-laws, so that's where they are. But apart from that, there's it's trees and bushes, and at one point they thought there was a herd of wildebeest going across the desert plains. Yeah, but if you look at the
wildebeest.
Yes, there was there's a bit where it looks like there's an old river and it looks like there's got lots of rocks. You know when waves wash and then leave behind certain rocks? Well, thousands and thousands and thousands and millions of years ago, Mars did have an atmosphere. It's been proved. It had an atmosphere. It had seas and everything. And it's basically where the seas levels have gone down and it's pushed the rocks. You can see it's just loads of rocks. But from above, it looks like a herd of wildebeest going, ha-ha, across the plain. It's not. But if you look at the Gigapan pictures, they make for very, very interesting viewing. And there's also, if I remember rightly, there was the one of the Mars rover ones that took the was it moisture caught jetting out the surface, or was it air? And there was another one that had some sort of craft going across the sky, and it wasn't a comet or a meteor or anything.
Well, Mars's climate is actually very, very dusty, and it has incredible dust storms that actually.
Anybody? Dust.
Encase the hull of the planet, right?
Oh.
The hull of the planet.
Essex.
Shut up. All right. And they are called ventifacts, which are basically rock formations that are caused through the erosion of sand on the surface, the friction that's caused. And they have lots of things like dust tornadoes, dust devils, and stuff like that. So you say that something squirting up, it's probably just a dust devil.
Well, yeah, because obviously
the atmosphere is obviously completely different from Earth, right?
Yeah. But as they said, they found traces of they found riverbeds, so they know that at some point in the past, this planet had a different environment and a different ecological atmosphere to what it is now. So something catastrophic happened to make the planet uninhabitable, i.e. you can't breathe the oxygen, etc., etc. So, yeah.
Well, they reckon, don't they? Did the CIA
good old
remote
CIA
viewing
got up there and all, did they?
That remote viewing thing, because we did a show about it. And the guy saw onto Mars, didn't he? Allegedly saw onto Mars, and he was talking about going millions of years back, and he saw what used to be there and the structures and the aliens, and they were all saying that they're having to leave the planet because they buggered up. They had basically had like a nuclear war or something, and it screwed the entire planet. But my only problem with Mars or anything like that, any other planets, is if you've had something that was there a couple of million years ago. There's going to be nothing left. There won't be pyramids. Not millions of years later. There's going to be hardly anything left at all because it will have all eroded away over time. There might be the odd bit, but there certainly isn't going to be a rat going ready to strike. There's not going to be a face hugger, and there's certainly not going to be some Boba Fett standing there with a jet bike going, "I need him alive."
Oh dear. But I have to say, this is, like I said earlier, it is very much two camps. You've got the reasonable and the logical people, and then you've got the total believers. I mean, there was the Rosetta probe landed on a meteor called Comet, it was a comet, not a meteor, sorry, Comet 67P. And they reckon that there was a UFO on there, a wireless antennae thing on there.
That's right, yeah.
And then they reckon that there was when they picked up a signal from this, they reckon that they put it through Google. I love this, any old Google. I just shove it through Google, and it actually got picked, like it was recognised by Google. I don't know what it said, but it was picked up. It was like, yeah, we know what this is. And it was when I was reading about that, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? You are looking at the grainiest pictures in the goddamn world and jump into huge assumptions which are not... And then say it was shiny on it. Now, actually, jumping back to Mars, one of the photos shows a light. Right?
That's right, yeah.
But we've seen anomalies with cameras on Earth with lights. That don't mean nothing.
No, but people want to believe, don't they?
I'm looking at some of the rover pictures on Mars of a load of rocks, and some of them, to be fair, some of them look like, you know, they look. No, I'm looking at what looks like brickwork that's crumbled and fallen away.
Sculptured, like you would expect to see
a
Roman ruin or a Greek ruin.
I don't know if that's sand erosion, but you don't get straight lines in nature. And I'm looking at some of it here, and it literally... No, the shadow's underneath, not on the top. And it's on the top where you can see the lines of the brickwork.
Wow, it depends on cleavage. When you look at how slate cleaves...
Sorry, what? Depends on the cleavage?
I don't look at
cleavage.
Oh,
no,
yeah, them bad
boys. If you look at how slate cleaves, or if you look at how certain crystals formate, which is in like a cubic formation within their crystalline structure, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Now, bearing in mind, the atmosphere is completely carbon dioxide. It snows on Mars, believe it or not. Found that little tidbit out earlier. It's not water snow. It's carbon dioxide snow.
Well, I'm looking at the...
for you guys for the old pub quiz later on in life. Right?
On Mars.
Honestly, I tell you, I should be a quiz mistress.
I'm just looking... We know about the big anyway. You got that wrong, bend over, bad boy. I'm on a website called whatsupinthesky.com, and it's got all the latest photos from Mars and all the anomalies and stuff like that. And I'm looking at them, and these are HD pictures. And so, one of them with the pyramids is fairly...
That's the picture I was looking at a minute ago.
It's fairly convincing.
But it's the same with any picture that you can find on the internet. That could be a Photoshop job. That could be anything. Could have been twisted to make people to confirmation bias on what they want to believe.
Yeah, exactly. You come to a very good point about obviously adaptive pictures. When we talk about Mars, and one of the famous pictures is obviously the faces of Mars, where there's these rock formations that look like faces. And then there's this great photo. So you've got all these little like these mounds that have little holes in that looks like a face. But then somebody's then posted a picture, and in Star Wars, we're going back to Star Wars, when Han Solo gets frozen in carbon, so half in, half out.
With the dribble come out of his mouth.
Somebody's done a picture, and it literally looks like Han Solo's been stuck on Mars. His face, and he's got his jacket, and he's got his legs, and it's just like, really. But right, anybody can adapt a picture, but you're right. Because of paredolia, because of visual, you see something that looks like a face. That has the same characteristic as a face, your brain is going to go, that's a face.
Yes, face. But your brain is actually designed to recognise faces.
Yeah, it's designed also. It's designed also as well, isn't it?
See, I'm looking at the ones that they think are statues, and quite frankly, one of them looks like maybe a pterodactyl poo. And I'm just looking at them, and it. Yeah. We live in Yorkshire. We have strange things that fly over and bomb the cars. Some of these, I think they're clutching at straws when it's not aliens or anything like that. Got one in. It is just it's just a bit of rock. It's just a bit of funky rock.
So what else have we found out from different planets? Because Mars, we kind of like it's not best.
Mars has been the biggest, because obviously that's where they've landed a rover. That's where they've got these photographs. That's where the grainy images have come from.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I've got one for you. Sol 36, SOL 36. Now, I can't actually see the picture because this particular website is just put a write-up about it and there's no picture, so I can't confirm this. But Sol 36 is an outstanding discovery made by a couple of team members. After deep analysis of this space anomaly, it appears to be a post-mortem photo of a man and a woman on the ground crouched together.
Ah, yes.
The couple seem to be wearing extremely exquisite garments and headdresses.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the picture?
I haven't seen the picture, but I read about it earlier.
And so I'm just like, they've come to, there's another one as well. I can't even pronounce that. Mohenjo-Daro.
They likened it to Pompeii, didn't they?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah, they likened it to Pompeii. And again, it's a rock formation.
Yeah. Pretty much everything is rock. It's rock or crystalline.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. But, I mean, people will... I just think that's when I read that early, because I dismissed that one because of the way they suddenly went, oh, it's like Pompeii. And I thought, well, God, there's two people. If that is the case, that there's two people, nothing else. There's no buildings, there's no other people, there's no poor dogs on chains. There's nothing. You can't take two people exquisitely dressed and in a compromising situation as other than that's a rock formation. Why would anybody put that out there as something? That's what I can't get my head around. It's like tangible. No, it's not tangible at all, is it? It's like jumping to huge assumptions.
Because you have got, out of all of us, I mean, a lot of us have got a really sane heads. We're intelligent, this, that, and the other. Apart from myself, but you will get people who are so desperate to either prove or find alien life or whatever that they're gonna go, oh my God, look at that. They're not gonna rationalize, and like us, we rationalize because of our paranormal training. We know you don't take anything at face value and go, oh, it's a ghost, when as we know 99.9% of everything that we see is not, like orbs and everything like that. But again, it's
sorry,
all
this.
No,
are you telling me that orbs aren't ghosts?
No.
Sorry,
They're not ghosts.
no.
No.
They're not physical
Yeah,
manifestations.
and so
of
great this. Yeah,
No.
so great this, and Tooth Fairy doesn't exist either.
What?
You what? The Tooth Fairy doesn't exist? No, you're jesting, mate. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he was murdered by the Easter Bunny.
Oh
Oh.
With his
Anyway.
no! Anyway, back on topic.
When people like us can rationalise and go, well, no, it's not that, it's this, look, and then when it's pointed out, but then you will get some people who are just really stubborn and go, no, it's not, no, it's not, it's this. And it's those people who, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them or anything like that, but I'm just saying that they have a lot of hope.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Are you all right there, Kerry?
I'm not saying that.
I'm not, because I mean, it's like me with the aliens. I love my alien stuff, and I don't think we are the only planet with vaguely intelligent life on it at all, out of all the cosmos. For every point of light you see in the sky, there's supposed to be 2 or 3 planets capable of sustaining life around it. So somewhere out there's got to be somebody who can count more to, count from 1 to UG. So
Whenever
I don't
you
think
say
we are the only ones out there.
I just want to burst into song.
Somewhere out there. But Venus.
Venus. And Venus was her name. Carry on. What about Venus?
Was on the good ship Venus. My God, she had a. They think. They think they have found images of colossal alien cities, and I'm looking at so many images.
Colossal, right?
Oh my God, colossal!
Oh Jesus!
Like, wow, guys. I'm looking at the pictures, and to be fair, 2 of them. There's something. It looks. The picture. 2 of the pictures look like what you'd find in a petri dish with a square in the middle of it, and I'm not convinced by that at all. There is a square in the middle of this thing, so I don't know what that is. But 2 of the other photos, there's a line of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 what could be taken as buildings in a row, and a couple of buildings have got something sticking out of them, and you can back off them. But the one picture I am very intrigued about, and I'll send you the link and you can have a look. There's the bottom right hand corner. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like oblong blocks in a row, and they're all uniform. And it's I can't really say what I would think that is, because it definitely looks like something.
Who found these?
Somebody with a very big telescope.
A very, very big telescope.
No,
it's from NASA. It is from NASA.
To my knowledge, they've not landed like a rover like they've done on Mars.
No, it was taken miles above the surface. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
By some passing
day on
probe.
Venus is 117 days on Earth. Did you know that?
Huh?
1 day on Venus is 117 days on Earth.
Jesus Christ! Imagine the working week.
Oh.
What? That's bad enough doing 7.5, 8 hour, 8.5, 9 hour days.
I do 15 hour shifts.
100 odd days long. Jesus, wow.
Right. I am sending you the link now. You can look at this pic. Well, 2 of them in particular are like, it looks like a petri dish. One of them looks like light reflecting off some stone blocks, but that last one, the bottom right-hand corner, that's
the one that does look like it's uniform, it's square. Yeah, like I said, but at the end of the day, I'm a big fan of watching Curse of Oak Island. They keep on finding all these things underwater that they say, oh, that looks like man-made. When they get down there, it's just a bit of rock that's had erosion that just happens to look like it's human. It's been made by human hands, but it isn't.
Well, it's like they think they found a top secret USAF alien technological base on the moon.
Well, this is the thing. The nearest planet to us is obviously the moon.
Yeah.
Obviously the little ones that float around it and all that sort of stuff.
That's its kids. That's
the little kids. But obviously the nearest biggest planet or moon is obviously the moon to us, and we know so little about it because we've only seen one side of it.
But now this is supposed to be the dark side, because we've seen the dark side now, haven't we?
Yeah.
I've got. Hey, here you are. Who's this? Moonbase Alpha.
Right, I'm going to send you guys a link of a particular crystal, and it just reminds me of this, right?
See, this is the woman who's like, no alien life, none of this, none of that. She talks to her pet rocks.
I do what?
Talk to pet rocks.
Shut up about me talking to my pet rocks. My pet rocks talk back more sense than some humans, trust me.
Do you take your pet rocks out for walks? With a little lead?
Not a lead, no, but I tuck them in my bra or my pocket.
See, there you go.
And
they have a comfy rock.
I've got a crystal point. Right? It's quite
really?
large.
Okay.
It's quite a large point. And I've been known to walk around with that in my hand when I'm walking the dog and stuff. It's like my leg. Yeah, a bit weird, right? But that's...
Anyway, back at the ranch.
Now who's going off topic, Kerry?
I'll stay more on topic than you boys do. But there's something called a crystal called bismuth, which you can recreate quite easily, right? And that looks like that picture on Venus.
It does. I totally agree. It does, and you can see. But are you going to get the amount of bismuth it would need to make those structures and the size of the pyramids and everything?
Yeah, but you don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know what's on Venus, do you?
Exactly. The conditions, the atmospheric conditions, the climate. I mean, everything reacts differently in certain environments, doesn't it? Right. So what you can expect to see reaction-wise and effect-wise on planet Earth may not be what you would get in the atmospheric differences on Venus or on Mars or on Pluto or Uranus. Do you know what I mean? They've all got very specific. They've all got very specific climates and environments and different.
One of them rains diamonds, doesn't it? Is it diamonds? One of the planets, it rains diamonds, doesn't it?
That's what they reckon, but I don't believe that because because of the chemical composition, we reckon it would rain diamonds. It's the same as on Mars. They know it rains carbon dioxide snow, but they haven't been that far to make. If it really did, like, rain diamonds, there's somebody would have the money to have bloody put a probe up there to collect bloody diamonds, right?
Elon Musk, he'd be like, I'm on it. I'm on it.
If that was the case. And diamonds aren't as rare as you think.
Floating planet, hasn't he?
Diamonds aren't as rare as you think.
Well, no, Superman makes them.
Well, I can make them.
Diamonds is only
crushing
just
them in my right hand.
That's how I got my little hand. I crushed too hard, and that was it. It exploded.
It's crushing something different.
Oh, diamonds! Sorry. But
Anyway, we're off topic. Very off topic. So, guys, we have got. Yeah, we're all right for a minute. So we're on Venus. Do we think there were ancient civilizations on this very, very, very cold planet?
You can't say no for definite, because obviously you don't know what that planet was like
and
thousands of years ago. There could have been, and like Mark said earlier, it would be a very, very sad existence to think there wasn't any other planet apart from Earth that could sustain life in the whole of the universe. Obviously, things happen, and it's been proven, obviously, with how the dinosaurs were made extinct. Things happen to change the environment, blah, 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 which we all know about. So potentially these things could have happened on Mars, could happen on Venus, could have happened all over the place and various different planets. So I think it's a very sheltered or very silly way of looking at it to think that we are the only intelligent life out, or any planet out there was ever populated or had some type of living sentient being or sustained life.
Yeah. I mean, there's anomalies on Earth as well. So,
yeah, exactly.
Which have been taken from space looking back at Earth, haven't they?
There's
been no wall. I'm very disappointed, everybody.
Which I think, it's just fell down the stairs by the sounds of that. Which wall are we talking about?
The wall that's around the flat Earth, everybody. You know, the infamous wall. Or a turtle. There's no turtle floating through space with the world on its
Are you talking about the great grey tattooing?
Well, that's
the star turtle with the 4 elephants and then the Discworld on top.
Okay, so flat earthers from space looking at Earth, if it was flat, we would have flat pictures.
But the thing is, I'm sorry,
cats haven't knocked everything off the planet, so
anybody that believes in flat Earth, I'm sorry, just needs to get on a frigging aeroplane and go for a flight.
I agree.
Then they will see that it's not flat, because you will see the curvature of the Earth.
Yeah.
When you're at 38,000 feet.
Yeah,
so I'm just wondering, do all these flat Earth people that believe in flat Earth never go on holiday? They just stay in their own little bubble. It's flat, and there's no point in going.
No, they can't stay in a bubble because that's round.
Do they buggery? I'm sorry. They go on holiday. They get on planes. They get on planes. They travel. I'm sorry.
They don't look out the window. They just have a little snooze.
Yeah, exactly. They pull down the shutter. No, I can't look out there. I'll change the way I might believe. Yeah, you get on a plane. You can see where you're going. We've had photos from space looking down at a circular thing rotating. Oh, no, that's obviously fake. What a load of shite.
So it's not a donut either then?
No, it's not a donut. There's no turtle. There's no turtle on the back of elephants. The sea doesn't just go underneath and then reappear on the other side. Whatever. I'm sorry. That is. Okay. Flat earthers do get my pip.
Do you need a moment there?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's just the concept. Obviously, okay, it's flat Earth. Fair enough. Back in the day when we hadn't explored the world, you could have believed that.
Yes.
Because you had nothing. But as soon as we start taking off, i.e. planes, balloons, things like that we actually left the planet, that gets shot out of the planet, so to speak. And the name planet means planet. Doesn't mean place.
Janet.
Yeah, it doesn't mean plate. It doesn't mean flat surface. Planet means circular.
Globy. There you go. There's a quick word.
Ball, whatever you want to call it. I'm sorry, but flat earthers, oh my word. Do they live in a cave? They don't go anywhere. They don't get on planes. They don't travel. They don't look at the sun, the changing of the sun and the moon coming out at night as we rotate.
Is the moon flat as well?
Well, according to this, they must absolutely freak the
No, there's people who think it is.
You got a pop-up book. They must have freaked out. What? You telling me these things pop out of a flat surface?
Okay. Anyway. Right. Okay. We've established.
I had the pop-up version of.
We've established there was no wall that NASA has found from space.
Hang on. I had the. I'll have to lend it to you. I've got the pop-up version of Debbie Does Dallas somewhere. That's interesting.
Oh my God.
Interesting.
Anyway, Mark, what have they found from space that are anomalous on this planet?
Well, you have got the Chocolate Hills in the Philippines, which
I like the sound of that.
It's 1,000. It's 1,200 hills spread over 20 square miles, and basically it's right in the middle of the jungle, and they literally look like chocolate beans. They look like it's made out of chocolate beans, and it's they're limestone hills, and the weather's basically eroded all vegetation and everything away off the limestone, but you've got jungle all in between them and round them, just not on them themselves. So, and it looks like it's all made, because it's limestone, it looks like it's porous, it looks like it's made out of chocolate beans or coffee beans. And next, and you must have seen this one, because this one is actually on one of the screensavers on Windows 10 and Vista. The Rainbow Mountains in Zhangyi.
Awesome, don't they?
In Zhangjidanji in China, and they are beautiful, and I'd love to. I mean, I'm looking at a picture of them now, and it's just like, wow. And that's weathering and erosion that's done it, mixed with high contents of crystallization and mineralogy. That's the word, I think. And it's stripped everything away, and you've just left with the base rock underneath. But because it's all different types of crystals and everything like that, it's just beautiful, all different colours and everything. That's another anomaly.
To my soul, there it's the crystals, but that shows you how our planet and its environment and the weather conditions and stuff and the mineral content affects the environment, on planet Earth, and creates some real strange anomalous things on the planet. That's going to happen on other planets. It's just going to occur in a different way because of the environment and mineralogy up there.
Mineralogy. Alpaca Mountains. Well, it's also like, they reckon, this I don't agree with, because they reckon that Earth is the only planet that's got or was known to have liquid water, which covers 71% of our Earth. But it's been proved recently that there's water on Mars. So, because they saw it getting damp and moist on Mars over time-lapse photos.
Damp and moist.
Exactly.
Yeah. But one of the best things, if you want to have an interesting, is one of the best things that when we were talking about this show that I did, was the one on Google Earth.
Yep.
Go on Google Earth, just to put in strange photos from Google Earth. Obviously, ignore the ones that are a little bit weird, like weird things wandering out and when they've taken them. But there's like crazy things. It's like, particularly when you go to like the Andes and that area there, where you can see how there's patterns in like structure where they've taken from above, and you can see like roads. Yeah. But then they zoom out a little bit, and those roads then turn into like an intricate like diagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. I personally think, as we said, we'd be stupid to sit here and say we are the only planet in the whole of everything that's got life on it. No, I don't believe that for one second. I think there are planets out there that used to have bustling civilizations and advanced technology and this and the other, but they, some reason, I don't know, they got screwed up and everything went extinct. Or they were going extinct and they left for a different planet. So I don't know. Same with Mars. I think there was possibly civilization on there millions of years ago, but then something happened and it completely buggered the planet up. Are the things that we see paredolia? Are the things that we see remnants? We don't know, but you will get the conspiracy theorists who go, "Oh yeah, it's all being hushed up by the government," and totally right on, dude. You'll get the people that really want there to be life, and they'll be like, you can show them a picture of a cat's bumhole and say, "Look at that," and they'll go, "Oh my God, it's life!" No, zoom out, see what it is. Oh, it's a cat. Yeah. You see what I mean? But who's to say that on planets now there isn't intelligent life? There isn't superior intelligent life, technologically advanced. Who's to say that some of our local planets, the atmosphere was totally different, things evolved differently, and then it went boom.
That's not
we don't know
that they're visiting us, though.
No. But there's what we were just saying is when you zoom out, you can take a snapshot, and then all of a sudden you zoom out, like Mark's great analogy of the cow's chocolate starfish. As you zoom out, then you realise it's a cat's bum. But that can be that you can put that into anything. You zoom enough into something, and you will see something completely different until you zoom out. But then there's also things that are man-made that you can see from space that just look strange. And one of the prime examples, and I know we've been talking about, obviously aliens and stuff like that, and that's the Nellis bombing range in America. When you go on Google Earth, you can Google it, and basically there's a massive triangle that you can see from space, and inside this triangle is loads upon loads upon loads of circles. So it looks like an alien's landed or something, but it's actually, when you look at it and you read about it, it's a target.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's a bombing range. But if you took that on face value, you're going to think, oh my God, aliens came down millions of years ago. They put this triangle with circles. What does it mean?
Well, it's like the Nazca lines as well, isn't it? You got things like the Nazca lines and this, that, and the other. And they're finding more and more things, thanks to Google Earth, that are related to the Nazca lines and along the same line. Did we have precursors? Did we have superior technology on here before we came along? Is it the Anunnaki thing? Is that real? Were we made by them to be their slaves or whatever? I don't know. But there's certainly lots of stuff out there.
A few years, back in time, there are things that are man-made, such as we have in Kent. We have like the chalk.
That's right. Yeah.
Of like man with a very large.
You got the Cern Abbas giant down in Weymouth.
And all that sort of stuff. These were man-made, but you can see them from space.
But
you can see them.
But they're just carved into the chalk cliffs, which is
Correct.
what gives them their whiteness. And nowadays they paint them, don't they? So they're more white than they
But
should
the Nazca lines are on flat surfaces and were designed only to be seen from up in the air.
No, I don't disagree that Nazca lines are very, very interesting. But at the same score, there's a rock formation there that looks like a Indian head, which is just a rock formation.
No, I'm talking about the tarantula and the bird and everything.
I know what you're talking about, but it's all part of the same system. Now, I find that very, very interesting. And who's to say? I mean, even when they do archaeology, they do a lot of flying over to see if there's any impressions or depressions in the land, like the fields, the farmers' fields. There'll be something you can see sometimes on the impression before they start doing geophies, isn't there? They do a lot of that. And if that's the case, if we are going to get to the point where we're visiting these other planets like Mars, like Venus, like those places, and we're able to put probes down, at some point, that technology that technology that we're employing on our own planet is going to be put to use on that. Can you imagine Google Mars?
There is Google Mars.
Is there?
Yeah.
What, like Google Earth?
Yeah, it's Google
Because
Mars.
obviously
It's been out for ages, and they update it all the time. But on Google Mars, there are sections that they have pixelated out that you can't see.
But that happens on Google Earth as well.
Exactly. There's bits on Google Earth and Google
but
Moon.
only the bits where it's like sensitive,
which is quite an area.
Isn't
Because
it,
you
really?
can actually,
Yeah, I was going to say that's a bit stupid.
but the thing is, you can actually put into Google Earth Area 51, and you can zoom in. You can see the runways, you can see the buildings. But then all of a sudden, if you go a little bit to the
left,
right
and the left,
all of a sudden, there's this area that you can't zoom into. Yeah. So, as we were saying in past shows, is it that philosophy of watch this hand as I wave at you while this hand picks your pocket? Yeah. Is it smokes and mirrors? This is supposed to be a top secret base, but then again, you can zoom in on Google Earth and see everything when you can't, and then you've got a place a couple of hundred miles away that you can't zoom into.
And if they're doing this on Mars, and they're pixelating bits out, is there secret bases up there? Or is that another red flag? Is that another smoke and mirrors? Oh, look, they've pixelated that out. It's got to be something. It's got to be something when it's actually not.
Yeah, it's the whole thing that we were discussing last week. I guarantee.
I can guarantee.
Is she? Isn't she?
I can guarantee for the next few weeks we're going to be talking conspiracy theories on future shows. But we've said many a time, you come from several different camps. You either think you're a conspiracy theorist and you think you jump at conclusions and you then do this, that, and the other, or you come from the camp you're all nuts. This is just natural, or the lone gunman killed Kennedy, or we landed on the moon, or you've got the other type of thing where you think these people think that it is actually real, going on, happening.
Wow.
It's just your own personal views. It's like religion. It's your own personal beliefs in things. It's like if you believe.
We're back to belief systems, right?
It is. Because at the end of the day, some people out there believe in ghosts and spirits. Some people out there think you're nuts. Some people will sit on the fence, but will have a ghost story or an experience, but won't commit either way. So it comes back down to your own personal belief system.
So, do you believe there was a civilization on Mars that had some form of tragedy and that either got wiped out or moved to another planet? Is it a belief system?
Let me rephrase what you just said. The stuff that we see in pictures, do I believe that there was like this, that, and the other? Is there like faces on Mars? Is there this, that, and the other? Possibly not, because of the whole situation about rock formation and all that sort of thing. Do I believe that there was life on these planets? Yes.
Okay.
Do I believe that they were wiped out, or this, that, and the other by a tragedy, or this, that, and the other?
Tragedy.
Yes.
Sorry.
We'll get done for copyright the way we're going tonight, Mark. Or maybe not. I won't recognise it.
I'll be honest with you. I'm exactly the same as Carl. 100%. I think that there was something there. I don't see why there couldn't have been. But technology now, photo-wise, back then, black and white, lots of greys and shadows. Oh, look, there's a face on the moon. Oh, look, there's a chimp's backside over there. Nowadays, it's like, no, it's not. Because we've got the technology to zoom in and everything. So, yeah. But as we said, with a lot of the Mars anomalies, a lot of it is, could it be, maybe, or is it erosion? But some of it, like I say, there's just some of it. I mean, majority of it is erosion, but it's just the odd bit. It's like, ooh.
But that's everything that we do in the paranormal field. We're not saying everything is paranormal. We're saying that small little bit.
0.1%.
Whatever percentage. I'm not going to go into percentages, but that tiny little thing could be. And that's
tiny little things can do a lot of damage. Trust me, I've got 2 kids.
Yeah. That's the same about most things, unless you're a flat Earth theorist.
But the Earth is not flat. The cats haven't knocked all the trees off.
Exactly. But we're not saying as paranormal investigators that everything is paranormal. We're saying there is something going on. There is this small thing that is going on that we don't understand, and I want to know more about. And that's the same about, obviously, these things on Mars, is Venus and on the moon. There's obviously something there, And as we've said, it'd be a very, very sad existence to think we're the only ever intelligent or life form in the universe living on this planet, on this little rock, out of millions of planets. We're the only life forms.
No, I don't believe that for a second.
Okay.
In the words of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, make it so, number one.
I love that.
I thought you were just going to say engage.
It's the only Star Trek I liked.
Okay.
I liked the very first series. The very first, guy.
Kirk.
That's his name. Thank you for filling me in on that one.
What,
And
Captain Kirk?
Captain Kirk. And Jean-Luc Picard. It's the only two series of that I liked.
I used to like it when he used to tell Worf off. Lieutenant Worf! And he'd be growling at him.
But you look at Star Trek, and there's things that they did in the 60s, like the communicator. What's a mobile phone?
And the tablet.
The Razor mobile phone. What was it? It was like a communicator out of Star Trek.
Yeah.
And everybody that bought a Motorola Razor did.
Yeah, that's it. I have
like that.
Yeah. And you go.
You used to open it like flicking it, like you were on Star Trek.
Yeah.
And then you've got other things that have happened, like they did the other things like teleportation, stuff like that. That's becoming more modern, and that's becoming more belief that it can potentially happen. So
They have teleported molecules.
Science fiction becomes more reality as time goes on.
I think they did an experiment, and if I remember rightly, they actually teleported. It was only like 2 atoms or something, but they've proved you can actually do it. It's like time travel. Time travel is mathematically possible, you know. But
you just got to run very fast,
extremely fast. Yeah.
Let's not get into time travel tonight, guys. I think I'm about sick to death of that time travel discussion. Anyway, on that note, we have actually come to the end of the Dark Mirror Show. Don't forget, everybody, we have shows going out 5 nights a week. And check out ASI Paranormal. It's a new TV network paranormal station that you can go and catch up with lots and lots of different paranormal shows on. And it will be growing. It is brand spanking new. Now.
And see us.
If you
can watch us.
We are on there too. If you miss any of our shows, you can pop over to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, whilst you're over there, what do you need to do, boys?
Like, share, and subscribe.
Click like, share, and subscribe. And to catch up with all the weekly goings on Parasearch Radio, find out what shows are up and coming, join me on the Parasearch Radio group page for the Monday Live, going live at about 5-6 o'clock-ish. You will get notified if you like our page. We have a competition on the go at the moment, don't we? 2 tickets to go to an investigation with Entering the Unknown Paranormal. Lots of high-profile people in the paranormal going to that. So if you want to investigate with the likes of Parasearch regulars, Jolene and Gemma, and you've got people like Alex Dugan, Mickey York, they're going as well. Wayne Dean, Ashley Buckingham, I believe MJ will be there as well. MJ Dixon will be there too.
And of course, you have us gorgeous people. If you want autographs, just let us know. Okay.
There are 2 tickets up for grabs on the Parasearch Radio group page. Don't forget, go over there. You have to be a liker of the page and comment to be in with a chance to win that. So, on that note, everybody, we've come to the end of the show. So what do we do, guys? We say goodbye.
What's next week's show about, Kerry?
Yeah, before we do that, we have to know what next week's show is about.
All right, let's have a little look, shall we?
Because I think we stopped with the aliens just for now.
We're going to go away from aliens. We're going to hit our ghosty roots. We're talking all things celebrity ghosts next week.
And we've gone from one rabbit hole to another rabbit hole.
We're having a little jump down a different rabbit hole to give us a different flavour on a Friday. Yeah, we're talking all things celebrity ghosts. Where can
Frank
you see
Sinatra,
the ghost
Michael
of
Jackson.
Frank or Marilyn or, I don't know, Judy?
Michael Jackson.
Judy?
Judy?
Who's Judy? Is that Punchy
Judy Garland.
I was going Judy Garland.
Is that Punchy Judy?
That's the way to do it.
We're going down that route. Where can you hang out with your local celebrity ghost? You
Well,
know,
just
it's
go
so
to Ouija
far.
board.
We've only named
I
American
can
celebrities.
tell you that already. Channel 5.
Anyway, on that note, say good night, guys.
Good night, guys. Enjoy your Friday.
Good night, y'all.
And from me, it's a good night too.
Thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget to join us for more shows throughout the week. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and the World Wide Web to keep up to date with all the shows right here on Parasearch Radio.